In a vault in Atlanta sits a document guarded like a crown jewel. It is a recipe, just a list of ingredients on paper. 130 years and the world still doesn't officially know what's inside. They call it merchandise 7x, the heart of the world's most famous drink. But here is the secret nobody advertises. The formula was never really the point, the marketing was. And the man who invented it died broke, never knowing what he'd made. This is the true story of the secret formula. Meet John Stith Pemberton. Pemberton was a pharmacist in Columbus, Georgia, wounded in the Civil War. A saber slash left him in chronic pain and dependent on morphine. Desperate for a cure, he chased tonics. He wanted a painkiller he could sell. In 1885, he brewed Pemberton's French wine Coca, inspired by a French hit. The inspiration was Vin Mariani, wine steeped with coca leaves beloved across Europe. It mixed alcohol, coca extract, and the African cola nut for caffeine. Then a law changed everything. Atlanta passed Prohibition in 1886. Pemberton's wine tonic was suddenly illegal. So he pulled the alcohol out and replaced it with sugar syrup. It started with a soda fountain accident. The new syrup was meant to be mixed with plain still water. But at Jacob's Pharmacy, someone reached for carbonated water instead. The fizzy mistake tasted better. Coca-Cola, the soda, was born. Enter Frank Mason Robinson. Pemberton's bookkeeper named it, coining Coca-Cola for the coca leaf and cola nut. Robinson wrote it in flowing Spencerian script, still the logo today. 9 servings a day, that was the average in year 1, barely anything. Pemberton was sick and broke. He began selling off pieces of his creation. Then came Asa Griggs Candler. Candler, a shrewd Atlanta druggist, quietly bought up every share of the formula. By 1891, Candler owned Coca-Cola entirely for about $2,300. $2,300, the price of a brand later worth tens of billions. Pemberton died in August 1888, poor, still addicted, months after selling out. But Candler understood the real secret. It was never the taste, it was the mystery and the marketing. Candler locked the recipe away and told no one the full ingredient list. He flooded America with free coupons, calendars, clocks, and painted walls. By 1894, Candler had distributed over 500,000 free drink coupons. The brand was everywhere. But there was a legal problem. The name Coca-Cola promised coca, and coca contains cocaine. Early batches did contain trace cocaine, standard in 1890s patent medicines. As public fear of cocaine grew, the company had to act quietly. The company quietly hired a chemist to find a solution. A chemist devised a process to strip the cocaine while keeping coca flavor. By around 1903, the active cocaine was removed, the name stayed. To this day, one New Jersey plant legally imports coca leaves for flavor. Candler understood that a secret people could not solve was a story they could not stop telling. In 1919, Candler's family sold the company for $25 million. The buyer was banker Ernest Woodruff. Woodruff's group put the formula in a bank vault as loan collateral. That is the origin of the vault legend the company promotes today. In 2011, the formula moved to a purpose-built vault at the World of Coca-Cola. But here is the twist, the secret formula is not actually a secret. In 2011, a radio show unearthed a 1979 newspaper printing the full recipe. Chemists have reverse-engineered the drink for decades, mostly sugar, caramel, acid, caffeine. So what is really in the vault? Not a formula nobody can crack, a story nobody can copy. The secret was always the myth, the feeling that you're tasting something forbidden. Pemberton mixed the syrup, Candler sold the legend outsold the syrup. 1.9 billion servings of Coca-Cola products are consumed globally every day. The taste is easy to copy, the 130-year story is not. The real recipe was never chemical. Next time you crack open a cold can, remember what you're really buying. Not a mystery syrup, a feeling engineered for over a century.